Elaine on the Buying Space Channel. I hope you all are well this morning. This week is an unusual week for me in a couple of ways. We've had, we're bringing mom home. She was brought home yesterday, and she has Parkinson's, and she had been in a rehab facility, and there were lots and lots of complications. And while she was in rehab, we all got used to doing, well, we got all got used to not doing what we normally do for mom, which the older your parent gets, the more it becomes that you need to do for your parent. And so things are complicated with our family right now, and that's why I didn't go live yesterday. I've got two videos today, not today, this week for my unboxings that are quite unusual in that they shine a negative light on some of the um, more negative parts of the reselling YouTube auction community. And I do raw unboxings. People know that. So when I get a box in the mail that's incomplete or is packaged in such a way that damages my items, I'm going to report that. This morning, I got an email from a person, and I really appreciated them letting me know they lost my item. I'm going to say who they are because they were honest enough to let me know that I wasn't getting my item. And, that's okay. I appreciate that a lot more than ghosting me, you know. And so that's coming up this week. And then I got a little food short coming up um, tomorrow. And for those of you all that watch food shorts or create food shorts, it'll seem somewhat familiar to you when you see it. Let me see. Okay, nobody's chatting. It's okay. Good morning to you all. Welcome in. Welcome in. Um, I hope that, good morning, JH556. It's good to see you. Well, it's been a weird week. And then today I go to the community college to get my teeth cleaned again. And it is a good deal. You pay $10 and they completely clean your teeth. And that doesn't matter whether it's one session or two or three. They get the teeth clean and they'll do x-rays and they scale your teeth and they'll evaluate your teeth, and then the instructor comes and looks at the evaluation and tells them, if they got everything right. So it takes a very long time, but it's practically free. So, that's a good deal, and it keeps your teeth healthy to have them cleaned. So I'm doing that today, going to the dentist, laying in a chair for probably 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, it's at a community college. There's this Northside Community College here in Jacksonville. They have a cosmetology school where you can go get your hair done. And they have a school of dentistry where hygienists are trained. Now, they won't do cavities, they won't do pull abstractions or crowns. They just do evaluations, basic cleanings, and if you need anything else, they refer you to someone in the community that can do the rest of the work. But you go in with x-rays that, the only thing you pay is that $10. It doesn't matter if it's for one session or 3 sessions, and they completely clean your teeth and you get the evaluation. You can take the x-rays with you or have them emailed to wherever you're going. So if you're a private paying or you have dental insurance with a copayment on everything, that certainly helps with costs too. Very nice to have that in the community. But, and then I've got services to set up for my mom today. She's 83 and has Parkinson's. And, it's just, it's difficult to see your loved one digress as they get older. And the closer they get to the end, the harder it is. And um, she had pneumonia about 3 weeks ago, and my pastor went to see her. Uh, Good morning. Good to see you, Orchid. Uh, is it Noah? Thank you so much. Um, she took a turn for the worst about 2 months ago, and it's been difficult to see. But hopefully, once she gets back on her routine that she was on at home, things will get better for her. I'm hoping. Um, a lot of these facilities, when they take an elderly person in for rehab, they do the opposite. Um, I'm going to call my representatives when I have time about um, rehabilitation facilities that also have long term care, because they're motivated to not rehab the person, not to help them get better, but to make them a patient that needs to stay in long term care, so they don't really take care of the person. They do what they can to actually make them worse, because they get about $100,000 or more um, to have them in house. Yes, yes, and it's emotional. So you're dealing with all these emotionalities at the same time. Uh, these people are manipulating you and your loved one into putting them in long term care, and it's just well, there's greed and there's avarice, and avarice is to make money for the sake of money, for no other good reason other than to make money. And when you have a facility that's there to take care of people and supposed to care and about their patients and make them better, and they do the opposite, it's atrocious. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to say to everybody, hey, these facilities need to be either rehab facilities or long term care. They don't need to be both, because, yes, and it's while you're dealing with seeing your family member, decline, and, all the details it takes, that you need to do to take care of your loved one, you and your family, and you're trying to work together and you're all busy, and, it's just been horrible. It's just been horrible. I mean, I don't think I'd even say everything that they had done, every trick they pulled. I mean, some of it really just backstabbing and, uh, you know, what the young people say, punking you while you're trying to do the best thing for your loved one. And that's just atrocious. But I don't want to say specifics without an attorney. So I did give them a wonderful Google review, as you can imagine. But we are getting a little warmer. We had the freezes last week, but we were able to put our plants back out on the porch. And so planting season in Florida is in February, because that's when we start mowing our lawns again, towards the middle of or end of February. So I need to call my lawn care guy and get that started. We sprayed for bugs right before the freeze. So none of the bugs around here had to die a slow, painful death by freezing. So yeah, I saw pictures where it snowed in Texas and Louisiana. Dawn Southern Finds, at her front porch, she showed, or maybe her mother-in-law's front porch, because they were at a hurricane a couple years ago and lost their house, and they tore down the whole house and they're building a new house. So it may have been her mother-in-law's porch, but anyway, just regular snow blanket, like she was up north and it was in Louisiana. And There was supposed to snow here and didn't. We just had freezing rain. We had rain when it was 31 degrees, which was expecting snow, and we didn't get snow. So if we didn't get snow by now, we're not going to get snow this year. It's just how it goes. We might have another good freeze, but I really doubt that we've lost our chance to have snow, I think. Of course, it could be a long winter, but, the lawn care will have to be arranged this month, this in February, because usually it doesn't freeze again. You don't want to mow your lawn and then have a freeze if you've got short grass. Oops. Good morning, Tooch Man. See, I'm talking wrong, and instead of grass, I said glass. You don't want to mow your lawn or have a freeze after you've cut your glass. So my mind must be on glass. I don't know what the deal is. But, I caught you at Two Old Guys Vintage and Resale, and it amused me so much that you went ahead and gave me credit, which, I did coin the phrase pooch man. But it made me happy because a lot of people don't recognize or cite that thing. Once they get that ball, they just run with it, and wherever that ball came from, nobody knows. So I appreciate that. I'm going to do some extra reading in March from the Torah, or the Torah book that I have, because what happens in the springtime around Pi Day, the Jews have a holiday that's not one of the ones listed in the Old Testament, or I should strike that, in the Old Torah or the Pentateuch, because it's from the book of Esther. And but Jesus would have followed that festival too, of Purim. Good morning, Craig. I got news for you, Craig. Yesterday was National Bubble Wrap Day, which should thrill every reseller. But it's also a certain week this week. It's Kiss a Shark Week. So good news for Sabrina, your wife. It's Kiss a Shark Week. That should make your week more interesting. Hopefully that woke you up. Like, oh, I got to run with that. I got to let my wife know. Got to let everybody know it's Kiss a Shark Week. I've been working on my nails, but, the winter has been real hard on my hands. But, it is what it is. We all get older. I just put, excuse me, I've been having congestion and a little bit of coughing, and my throat's kind of been like a frog this week and this past week, and then really the whole month has been like this because I'm just not used to the cold weather. So hopefully when the spring comes, my skin will recover. I'm sitting here ducky, and I shouldn't be. One of the things about living in Florida, you're not used to wearing clothes all the time, or not, when you stay at home a lot, you kind of dress like, you're at the beach, and you don't really have everything on all the time. And I think that's one of the problems I have when there's a real winter. It's just like, oh, I got to put clothes on now. That royal pain of putting all the clothes on is usually reserved for when I have to walk out the door. I'm not really into it. It's like, wow, Lord, do I have to get dressed today? There was a joke a long time ago, and this woman was like, she went out to dinner with this guy, and the whole dinner was a disaster. So when she finally got the nerve to tell him, this is not going to work. This is just horrible, because he obviously worshiped his mother, and he talked about his colonoscopy, just all kinds of weirdness. When she stood up and left the table, she's like, "Oh, I shaved my legs for this." And, I just completely relate. It's just like, oh, I put on pants to come out and hear this. I could have stayed at home and run around naked and been happy, but I had to come out and hear this. But anyway, I am going to. I was at the Groves Emporium last night, and I sent Stephanie Groves one of my little boxes of sunshine that I had been talking about, and she got it, and she was so happy. She was tearful. I mean, she actually cried because I had sent her. And what I did do is, like, if I buy from somebody, I'll send back their business cards, and I'll send little things that they've sent me, like sometimes stickers, and I'll decorate the box. And I sent a couple of gifts with it, and one Mr. Stephanie is going to use. And I sent Stephanie the brooch. Trying to think who I bought it from. It was a beautiful sunflower brooch, and I sent that to her. And she just cried because she was so happy. And she understood that by sending back, "Good morning," her business cards and the little stuff that she'd given me. "Good morning, Dan." She understood that I was recycling and reusing, because next time I purchase from her, even though that business card had my name on it, she can use that next time she sends me stuff. And I sent a whole envelope to Mark and Michael, Two Old Guys Vintage and Resale. And Mark was to tell me how he reacted when he got the envelope, because every single solitary one of their postcards, and I don't have any around me right now because, well, I sent it all back to them. But it's, well, let me see. Can I find? Yes. Yes, I can find it. Excuse my big Q. Every single solitary one of their postcards has this picture on it. But on the back, on the white part of the postcard, they always wrote like a little thank you note to me. And they can, next time I buy from them, they can just send me the same postcards back, one at a time, of course. But I didn't send them their duckies back. I used their duckies everywhere else. But I'm thinking about who I'm going to send this box of sunshine to next, and what I'm going to put in it. I do have an open contest, and I think it aired on New Year's. And what happened was, I have like over 2,000 unboxing videos, and sometimes I don't keep them all straight. And well, let me show you this. This is a prime example. This is a bingo prize win. I love to air these on Monday, but my unboxings are out to December. My next unboxing I'll probably schedule in January of 2026. That sounds futuristic and wild. But anyway, one of Lisa Raven's videos I had moved. So when I was going through my list and I needed to move a unboxing or an enveloping video to a later date, I moved the wrong video. There was a part 1 and a part 2, and I moved the part 2. Good morning, Robin. I was just explaining the contest I have. I put a New Year's contest, and it closes out in a couple of weeks, and nobody's trying to win my little box of sunshine, because what I was going to do is, when somebody figured out the contest, I was going to fill this box up depending upon who they were, because like a man wouldn't want a box full of jewelry, right? Most men wouldn't anyway. But anyway, I mean, Craig might, because he has a beautiful wife. But the video from Lisa, the part 2 got moved because I was trying to make room for either a moon pie unboxing or a bingo win unboxing, which I like to air at 3:30 on Monday because bingo starts at 4:30. Well, it got misplaced, and it aired a couple weeks later. I will give you all that clue, but I'll pin my contest video so you all can, listen to the instructions, and maybe somebody can actually win my little box of sunshine. But I am going to send another one out to somebody in the community that's I buy from regularly now that has their own business cards, and I'm going to return their business cards and maybe some thank you notes that could be used by anybody, and stickers and that kind of thing, and a couple little gifts. But they're small gifts because they got to fit in that little box of sunshine, right? But anyway, that's what I'm up to. Oh, I did go to a charity auction. Don Southern Fine's brother-in-law has cancer, and they had a charity auction for that gentleman. His name's Ray. And one of the things that Victoria from Adventures with Victoria did is she sold slots for a future auction. So on February 5th, and I don't know what time yet, I'm going to be on auction with Victoria. Sometime between 1 and 4. I don't remember exactly when my time slot is. It might be 2, but there's one slot available. And what she did for the charity is she sold each time slot, which is half an hour, 20, 30-minute time slot, to raise money for Ray's cancer treatments. So I thought that was a very ingenious thing to do. And you get the exposure to selling to, Victoria's people in that crowd, because every place you go to auction, it's a different crowd. Now, there are some people that go to all auctions. I won't name any of you, but Robin. But anyway, you know what I mean, Robin. If you go to Sell with Auction with Friends, which includes Victoria, the crowd is a little different from Two Old Guys Vintage and Resell, or New England Cajun Roots Reseller, or Two Old Guys Vintage and Resell is what I meant to say. But anyway, all those groups are different. If you go to Angie Oddities, she has a different crew. And, if you go to Colleen's and Tracy Cakes, there's a bunch of different people there. So there might be some people that are in all those auctions that go to all those auctions, but there's some people that only go to that one group's auctions, usually. And there are people that hop around. So, sellers that hop around. So it's kind of good when you hop around because you are exposing yourself to different audiences, and you might find the people that you sell for the easiest. There might be whatever your niche is. Of course, I keep changing my niche. I was doing buttons, and I got disheartened because there was a lot that had a lot of buttons in it, and somebody else beat me to it. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I'll be showing the same buttons I showed, plus a few more that I showed in November. But the people that are going to be there in February, excuse me, I dropped my tape, are a very different crew than the people that would be there, would have been there in November when I first went on. So, or was it October? I'm fuzzy with it. It was last year at any rate, and it was before the holidays. I did try to sell in December, but Johnny's using a different service other than StreamYard, and it's new. I don't know if I can use just my phone with it. There was one other reseller that I have a lot of respect for, came on that show right before me, and she couldn't get her sound to work with the new whatever service it is for streaming. And when I go on Victoria's in February, this 2 weeks from now, it's going to be on StreamYard, which I'm comfortable with, which I've done before. So I didn't want to, since I'm relatively new, learn a new streaming service at the same time. I just didn't. And also, he ran out of time because the new streaming service only goes for 6 hours, and other people were having problems. So that took a little bit more extra time, and the 6 hours expired when the person that was in front of me was on. So even if I hadn't said no, I really don't want to do this now. Even if I hadn't said that, I wouldn't have been able to go on. So, it didn't make any difference. So I'm going to stick to going on with people that have StreamYard. Good morning, Scarlett. Yeah, Scarlett's in Wales, and I think it's noon over there. Is it lunchtime, Scarlett? Scarlett and I used to hang around, oh my gosh, 3-4 years ago. Larry's LL Stash, he would have a morning live, and we had a lot of fun. Scarlett knows some of my secrets, my YouTube secrets. At 12:30. Wow. Yep. I think it was you the other day told me all of the United Kingdom was on this in the same time zone. I miss Larry too. I see him occasionally at Victoria's, but not very often. I think he just got tired of us. I don't know. It is. He had done or had been doing. What is it called? One of those delivery services, and he had also been a bus driver. So he had some early morning jobs in addition to doing the lives, and I know that had been tedious. There's times that, like the grocery store here opens at 7 a.m., almost all of them. I live in a city of 1 million, and there probably, I don't know, 100 grocery stores in Duval County. It's a very big. DoorDash. Yep, he did a lot of DoorDash. So a lot of stuff, and, I'll try to get out the door to go be at the post office waiting for the packages, that sort of thing. So since I started doing this, I've realized that, there's lots of stuff I do at 7 a.m. And I guess maybe that's one of the reasons I chose the time. But also, I can't be two places at once. Now, part of what's contributed to me not going on live as much is I can't go live in the car. It took me a long time to have a successful live stream because my signal kept getting interrupted even at home. And so when I went out in the car, it was just, I was having to push that button all the time. And I asked Marty to push the button because I can't push the button and drive, because it'll come up and it'll say, your stream's been interrupted. Do you want to continue or do you want to stop the stream? Or they're your two choices. And so I asked Marty to press it. And sometimes it was like a video game. You had to sit there and press it and press it and press it and press it. Right? Love you too, Scarlett. And, you can't do that and drive. So I decided that I can only go live at home right now. It's a shame that I can watch videos, when I'm like in a waiting room or, out somewhere. I have no problems watching videos, but going live, my service just completely, totally keeps interrupting and interrupting and interrupting. Like I said, when I started, it was doing it at home even. So I don't know what the dealio is with that. So when I'm home now, I put my I connect myself to the Wi-Fi instead of using my phone's data service. That works perfectly fine when I'm at home and when I'm away from home. But when I go to watch videos, but when I go live myself, it's just so stubborn. So I don't know. I think feel like they're showing me enough love anyway, because with all the uploads I do and all the texting and calling I do, because I use my phone a lot, and I guess I need another device. I'm getting that feeling. I do have an old iPad that's like a version 6, and they're on version, I think, 15 now. But I put it in my bedroom and I put people's playlists on, or I watch movies in the middle of the night when I wake up, and I know I'm going to be awake for a couple hours and I can't go back to sleep. There are lots of good movies I've gone back to sleep to. I'll just say that. Or I'll put on one of Dan. Dan's been in here. He's in Wells too, Scarlett. Um, and he has fish tanks, and he'll do 50-minute to an hour and 40-minute or hour 50-minute video just of the fish. And I just love it. And it's so relaxing. I love the sound of the fish tanks. But that's what I do. And also I'll go back and watch. I try not to do this so much with the tablet in the bedroom, to watch the videos of the people that have watched my videos, because when I do that, I can't comment. And when I do that and don't comment, they don't know that I've been there. And, it's hard to get reciprocity. Good morning, Doretha. I'm so glad you're out of the hospital. I know that feeling of finally getting out of the hospital and getting to come home. I mean, and I've been in the hospital one time for 7 weeks and couldn't walk, and it was just daunting. And I had people that treated me like dirt, because I couldn't get up and walk, and they thought I should. And oh my goodness, it was a hard time. It was a real hard time. But I've been in the hospital for other reasons. I was in the hospital this fall, uh, during the hurricane. Yeah, I was in the ICU during the hurricane. Beat that. Oh my gosh. That was a time. But Marty was safe. Marty was in a 5-bedroom brick house further west of here, that's much safer than this house. They were not home alone, kind of thing. And, it's, it's, I've got hospital memories. Next time I go in the hospital like that, I am going to film my meal every day. I'm going to do like a short every day of hospital food, because people do that. I've got a friend on Facebook. She is in, oh, Marty's in her room, or in their room. Sorry, wrong pronoun. Marty's in their room and they are laughing. And I love to hear Marty laugh. But this friend from high school, she's in this facility and she is there, permanently. It's long term care for her. And she's disabled. And all she does is complain about the food. And she takes a picture at least 3 times a week. And the other day she showed a picture, and it was horrible. And then she showed what they brought her, in replacement of it, and it was just like a piece of toast and a little thing of butter. It was like, oh my gosh. So I think next time I go back in the hospitals here haven't been that bad on food. Sometimes I have to laugh at what they bring me. They I have gout. And it's not, I don't have gout all the time. I have gout flares. And then when I have a gout flare, I can't, I can't eat certain things like beef and mushroom. So I put on my hospital form, no beef. And then they proceeded to bring me meatloaf. And I'm like, what is this meatloaf made of? And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's beef. Okay. Yeah, it's always something. you know, but you got to look at the good, what they're doing for you, because overall, they help you get well. But it's just, I have a family member with celiac disease, and celiac disease, you can't have gluten, and gluten's kind of in everything. So when I think about my family member going into the hospital and not having gluten and not having them make my family member sick by giving them gluten, doctors have said, well, it's a hospital, the cafeteria knows what they're doing. I remember the meatloaf, I'm like, well, no, they don't always know what they're doing. So when my family member goes in the hospital, I stay with them a lot. And because a lot of people don't know how to cook gluten free. They don't have. We went to Applebee's one time. We're at Applebee's, and so I told the waitress my family member had celiac disease, and they came back out with the chef, and the chef is like, "Oh, I know what that is. That's like a preservative." No, gluten's not a preservative. It's a binder that's in wheat, barley, and rye, and sometimes in oats. That it does, when you cook with it, it does help the food bond together. In other words, you ever bake something and you pull it out and it's falling apart, it might have an alternative flour in it that's not got gluten in it. It's like a binder, but it's not a preservative in any way, shape, or form. But if you cook with, like regular wheat flour instead of rice flour, it is going to bind together. And if you use an alternative flour to bake with, you have to bake it at different times and temperatures than you do if it's regular wheat baking flour. So it's complicated. And like oats are gluten free. Good morning. Oh, I'm so glad to see you, Howie. Oh my gosh, it's in the middle of the night where you are. But anyway, when you take oats and you grow them in a field that's had wheat in it before, it's not gluten free because it absorbs that gluten out of the soil. But if you take oats and you plant it and grow it in a field that's had corn in it, it'll be gluten free. So you really have to be careful. And maltodextrin, which is in a lot of medicines, maltodextrin can be completely full of gluten because it can be derived from wheat, or gluten free if it's derived from corn. And pharmaceutical companies and food companies don't always label the source of the maltodextrin. So 5 a.m. Oh my gosh. Well, I get up. I usually get up between 3 and 5. Since New Year's, not so much. Since New Year's, I've been getting up at 6. For some reason today, I got back on my old schedule, and I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I laid in bed for a couple hours watching a movie about Esther, Queen Esther, because I've got some things to show for Purim, which is a Jewish holiday on near Pi Day, or on Pi Day maybe. But this Amazon delivery, I'm going to do, what did I do? Okay, hang on a second. Okay, sorry about that. But this envelope has this comes from Amazon, and it has to do with Purim, which is a Jewish holiday. So I've been waiting to do that. How long was my camera switched? Y'all got to see the corner of my face. Oh my goodness. Oh, Steph! Oh my gosh, you that's a valid question. Do you ever sleep? Because usually Steph will be on anywhere from 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. And I would think that Steph would crash about the same time I get up. My apologies, Steph. I don't have the fairy lamp out here. I have a fairy lamp that a family member gave me that Steph asked me how much it was, and I think I said $2,000 or something. You know how when you got something that you really don't want to sell, and somebody asks, and you're like, no. If you give me an arm and a leg, maybe. Oh, look, there's a DD Sweeties left over here. Yeah, this is not healthy at all. This is full of sugar. This is lemon pound cake caramel. And I don't think I can contain myself. I think I have to eat this right now. Sorry for the chewing. It's going to happen. Mmm. Mmm. Yeah, Steph was on last night. I got the notice that you all were packing your items. That's one of the stuff that Stephanie does. In addition to having auctions, she has hangouts. I love this. I've gotten into pieces that have oh, this candy's good. Hold on a minute. Lines and striations, or what you might call threads. Yeah, I saw where you all were unpacking, and I meant to go back to your live. Do you ever do that? You get a notification, but you got to do these 2 other things first and then go back. And then when you're doing those 2 other things, it's like, oh, squirrel, I got this other thing. And, I'm just continuously like that. And this has lines in it too. Absolutely. No chips or cracks or anything on this. It looks like it. And parts of it make it look like it's crackle glass. But it's not. It's just all reflection. When you do that, see that little wobble of light inside? That's the movement of the striations. It's just so neat. But cobalt blue is definitely my color. That one, I don't know where it came from. The clear one came from Angela Isaac. And, well, no, that one came from Angela Isaac too. This came from Tooch Man. This is one of the cobalt blue pieces he sacrificed. He likes cobalt blue too. And these little salt shakers, they're both salt shakers. I'm looking for the tall ones that are like this. These kind of look like Purim or Torah scrolls. If you put, actually, you could take one of these lids and put it on the bottom, and it would look like half a scroll. I guess, I just need to order the scrolls, the little scrolls that have the Torah on them, or the book of Esther, the book of Ruth. I don't know how expensive they are. They can't be a very popular item. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are. Globally, they probably are, but I don't know. But anyway, I've been looking for the regular salt and pepper shakers like these that are regular size height for salt and pepper shakers. So just put that out there. Yeah, and I offered you money several months ago for that picture of the Pope. I don't know if you still have that. This is my beaver. This was a gift from Mark from Two Old Guys of Vintage and Resale. He sent me a beaver. I was in a weird mood at an auction, which happens a lot, and I just asked him if I could have the beaver for free, and he said yes. And Michael, as always, was annoyed that he was giving me stuff for free. Oh, those two are a hoot. Good morning, my life sunny side up. I love the name. I love that attitude. God bless you for being a positive person. I thought I had something plugged in over there, but I guess I don't. But anyway, I'm feeling a little fuzzy, feeling a little weird. Got a big day ahead of me. Um, oh gosh, I'm going to brush my teeth again since I had that caramel. Oh, why do I do these things to myself? But please, all of you connect. Everyone in here is a wonderful channel. I love you all, and you all have a wonderful and blessed day.